All right, we have had a technological meltdown in Game 3 of the 1980 World Series. Thankfully, the game is continuing forward, even though the broadcast production crew is having a hard time wrangling the technology. We are going to pick this one up in the top of the sixth inning. It is currently 5-3 Kansas City. A little game recap here. We had a two-run homer by George Brett. That was back in the third. That was a dead central, just a two-run jack. And then the next inning, we had a walk from Amos Otis. He stole second. That was followed by a base hit, an RBI base hit from Clint Hurdle. There was a walk to, that base hit scored Amos Otis. There was a walk to Darrell Porter, put runners at first and second. And then a fielder's choice, put runners at the corners, and then a two-out double from Willie Wilson to deep right field off the top of the wall. That double scored both Hurdle and Washington, and that put them ahead. Kansas City ahead 3-2. For Philadelphia, it was Rose getting on with an error, and then scored on a sac fly from Bake McBride. In the first inning, gave Philly an early 1-0 lead. They added to that in the third, a single and then an E7 push runners to first and second, and then a 2 RBI double from Manny Trio scored both of those players, Moreland and Schmidt, and that gave Philly a temporary 3-0 lead. They would carry a 3-2 lead into the fourth inning, and then Kansas City scored 3. So hopefully we got battery situations and everything worked out with sound and recording, and we are going to pick this one up. Our starters are still in the game, so Rich Gale will be facing off against Manny Trio, Larry Boa, and Bob Boone. He can go 25 batters. He's at 27, 26, 25. He's at 24 right now. So this might be his last inning here. So he comes out against Manny Trio. Trio is 2 for 2 with a 2 RBI double and a single. A 25 is going to be a fly ball that goes out to dead center field. No problem. Out in center field, that's going to be Amos Otis making the catch. And Manny Trio is finally retired in this game 3. Philadelphia leads the entire series 2-0. They won the first 2 games. Game 1 is 5-2. Game 2, 5-4. And so they've taken a commanding lead in this one. Kansas City looking to get back into it at home. 14, that's going to go to Larry Boa. Boa's already been hit by a pitch. A 14 is going to be a walk. So he gets on. He actually reaches base for the third straight time. It's walk number 3 for Rich Gale. 10% walk rate for him. Not great. It's above average, but it's not great as he walks another batter. So that's back-to-back walks for Rich Gale. How long do we keep him out there? Maybe he can throw a double play. We'll see. Lonnie Smith. He would need a 24 or a 55 to get that double play. It's a 15 instead, and that's going to be a grounder that goes to the first baseman. And he's going to throw it to second and get the fielder's choice as second. So that's going to be out number 2. But that does allow the runner to move up to third. And Lonnie Smith is going to be safe at first with let's say a 3-6 fielder's choice. That's who would have received that throw from the first baseman. Brings up Pete Rose. He's got 2 on the pond with 2 outs. And can he help the Phillies out in this situation? The 25 is going to be a fly ball. That's going to go out to dead center field. And is it an error? It's possibly an error. Amos Otis is a plus, though, so he's going to make the catch out there. And that will be out number 3. Nice play from the Kansas City center fielder to save a couple of runs. And we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. 5-3 is our score. Kansas City over Philly. And Kansas City is going to send up Amos Otis, Clint Hurdle, and Darrell Porter to the plate. On the mound for Philadelphia is the starter, Dick Ruthven. He can go 29 batters. He's not close to that at this point. He puts one out over the middle of the plate. Amos Otis, he had 10 home runs, and he gets hold of this one out into left center field. right center field. Running it down, though, is the center fielder. That is Gary Maddox near the warning track. Makes a nice running catch on the Amos Otis fly ball. Clint Hurdle to the plate. Hurdle, sort of the man of the hour at this point. Has an RBI single and a strikeout. 26, that's going to be a grounder as he hits one and chops it to third base. No problem at third for Mike Schmidt as he makes a good throw across to get the slow-footed Clint Hurdle. 2 outs in the inning. Darrell Porter to the plate. He is a left-handed batter. 249 average, 7 homers, and 51 RBIs in 1980. He gets hold of this one as he pokes it down the right field line, running over to the line. He is going to be the right fielder, Bake McBride, and he'll make a nice catch right near the line. And that is a 1-2-3 inning for Dick Ruthven. Nice job in the 6th as he bounces back. He gave up 5 runs in the 3rd and the 4th, and he's had a couple of scoreless frames since then. So we head to the top of the 7th. It is 5-3. We're at 27, 28, 29, and Rich Gale can only go 25 for his stamina before we have to move him. So let's go ahead and get a reliever into the game. And Marty Patton has done a good job for me. And I think that's who we got, right? These other guys are starters. Gurr's a starter. Yeah, okay. So we're going to go with Marty Patton. We're going to save Quisenberry at this point. Hopefully Patton can continue his good pitching. He's a right-handed pitcher, can go 10 batters, and 3.68. So that's going to end the day for the starter, Rich Gale. Gale goes 6 innings, and he gives up 1, 2, 3, 4. Gives up just 4 hits and 3 runs, only 2 of which actually. Yeah, I think only 2 are earned. And then he gave up 4 walks. And 1, 2, 3 Ks. All right. So Marty Patton is in the game. He'll face off against Mike Schmidt, Bake McBride, and Keith Moreland. So 3, 4, and 5 for the Phillies order. He gets Mike Schmidt to hit it hard, but hit it right at George Brett. That's going to be out number 1. And Bake McBride stands in. Bake McBride hitless so far, but he does have 1 RBI. 46 is going to be a pop-up, and that's a pop-up to the first baseman. No problem there for Willie Aikens as he squeezes it for out number 2. Keith Moreland stands in. Moreland is 0 for 2, reached on an error and a walk. And 11, though, this one gets left out over the plate, and Keith Moreland destroys it to left center field, and that's going to be a big fly over the wall. And Philadelphia gets 1 run closer with that solo home run. As Keith Moreland goes deep, he had just 4 home runs, but that was in 159 at-bats. So a little bit of pop in that young bat. Brings up Gary Maddox. He's 0 for 3. The score is now 5-4 as Kansas City's lead is tightening. 25, that's going to be a fly out that goes to right center field. No error on the play. As the center fielder is Amos Otis, he ranges over and makes the play in right center field. That's out number 3. Philadelphia does get a run back, and it is 5-4 as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Ruthven's still on the mound. He can continue forward. He can go 29. He's going to pass that in this inning. But he's not past it, so we'll leave him out there and see how he does against the top of the order. UL Washington is first, though. Washington's 0 for 2. He did score a run in his last at bat. 26 is a grounder. That's going to go to short. No problem at shortstop for Larry Boa, as Boa gets the speedy UL Washington at first. Speaking of speed, Willie Wilson comes to the plate. Wilson has been on base once. He had a 2 RBI double, which was key in that 3-run fourth. A 24 is going to be a ground out. Hit hard, but hit right to the second baseman. Manny Trio picks it up, throws to first, and makes a good play to get Willie Wilson. Frank White to the plate. Frank White, 1 for 3. Up in the 2-hole this time. It's a little tapper out in front of the plate. No problem for the catcher. It's going to be Bob Boone who jumps out, makes a good throw to first. And a 1-2-3 inning again for Dick Ruffin, as he has turned it on in this game, and he's pitched 7 strong innings. He has given up 5 runs, and I think they've all been earned. Yeah. Given up 5 runs, but he's given his team a chance. It's 5-4, and it will be Manny Trio, Larry Boa, and Bob Boone. Bottom of the order, but doesn't matter here as Manny Trio reaches out and he rips one down the line in left field. That's going to be a stand-up double for Manny Trio. Trio now with 2 doubles and a single. He's 3 for 4 in the game with 2 RBIs. Always seems to play big in these games. Larry Boa to the plate. We'll let him hit away and see what he does. 25, that's going to be a fly ball that goes out to left center field. No problem in left center for the left fielder, Willie Wilson, as he makes the catch. No movement from Manny Trio, and he'll remain at second base. A base hit can score him, so not really tempted to try to move him up. Maybe if it was to the right field. 36, this can be another fly ball. This one goes out to left center field. It'll be Willie Wilson again, this time a little bit shorter. And for sure, there is no movement from the runner at second. Philadelphia now 2 outs, and they are in danger of squandering a leadoff double. Lonnie Smith to the plate at 45. That's going to be a long single down the right field line. And Lonnie Smith delivers the game-tying RBI single, and that is clutch. So Lonnie Smith, with his 8 speed, is actually going to turn that into a double. So it is a 2-out double from Lonnie Smith down the right field line as he has a hustle double. And he is going to tie this game up at 5 here in the top of the 8th inning. Pete Rose to the plate. A 12 is going to be a little slow roller to second base. No problem at second base for Frank White as he throws it to first for the 3rd out. But Philadelphia does put one more up. They've had 2 runs scored in the last 2 innings, and that has tied us up at 5. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. This one is super close. It is Game 3 of the 1980 World Series. Dick Ruffin is 27, 28, 29. No, why not? Let's keep him in there. See if he can take care of the middle of the order here. This will be a ground out, so a little nubber out in front of the plate down the third base line. No problem for Boone as he gets George Brett at first base. Brett now 1 for 4 with a home run. And that brings up Willie Aikens. Aikens is 1 for 3. A 12 is going to be a soft grounder to third. Coming in hard is the third baseman Schmidt. He grabs it, throws all in one motion, and gets Willie Aikens at first. So 2 down for Hal McRae. McRae is 1 for 3. 24, though, is going to be a ground out. This is right back to the pitcher. And Ruffin closes out his night with a 1-2-3 inning. We head to the top of the 9th inning. It is tied at 5 here in Game 3 of the 1980 World Series. Oh! And it's time to bring in Dan Quisenberry. See if he can make sure we get to the 9th inning scoreless or tied up. Quisenberry, a right-hander, can go 7 batters and a 3.34 FIP. He was 12-7 with a 3.16, 3.16 ERA, 128 innings pitched. For Patton, he goes 2 innings. He does give up 2 runs. It was 1, 2, 3 hits, 2 runs, no walks, and no strikeouts. So, tough one for him, as Gale is off the hook, and it is officially whoever's up next. So Quisenberry, I guess, is going to be the next in line to try to win this one. He comes in here. He's going to face Mike Schmidt. 44 is going to be a base hit, as Schmidt laces one into right field. Lashes it, as they say. Brings up Bake McBride. McBride 0 for 4. He feels like he's due. A 33, though, is going to be a strikeout from Quisenberry. Quisenberry, not a huge strikeout pitcher, just 37 in 128 innings pitched, but came up clutch there. Brings up Keith Moreland. Moreland is 1 for 3 with a solo home run. 36 is going to be a walk off of the pitcher card. And that's going to put runners at first and second base. Still an opportunity with 1 out to get the double play, but it's going to have to come from Gary Maddox. Maddox 0 for 4. 35 is going to be a double play or strikeout. That one's hit to the shortstop, and that's Taylor Made. 6 to 4 to 3, and that's going to get Quisenberry out of the inning. Clutch defensive play from Kansas City, as they keep Philadelphia from scoring after they get a couple of runners on in the ninth. We go to the bottom of the ninth inning. It's going to be Tug McGraw time. See if McGraw can close this one down. Dick Ruthven, an excellent start for the Phillies. McGraw, a lefty, can go 6 batters and a 2.36, minuscule FIP for Tug McGraw. 5-4 record in 57 games pitched, 1.46 ERA, 92 in the third innings. He had 20 saves. That's going to close the book on Dick Ruthven. Ruthven goes 8 innings. Put that all in here, and he gives up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 hits and 5 runs. He had 2 walks and 1, 2, 3, 4 Ks. So a good start for Dick Ruthven, and he is going to hand the ball off to Tug McGraw. The Tugger has had 1 good game and 1, actually, game 1, what did he do? He got the save. He went 2 innings. He had 4 walks, but he also had 3 strikeouts. So he's got 1 save already. He hasn't given up any runs, and we'll see if he can keep the game scoreless in the bottom of the ninth. 34 to Amos Otis is going to be a long single. That's actually going to turn into a double, as Amos Otis pokes one down the right field line. Takes a little bit of time for Bake McBride to get there, and by the time he gets it back in, Amos Otis is sliding safely into second base. Brings up Clint Hurdle. Hurdle already with an RBI single. And a 15, that's going to be another one, as he hits this one into left center field. That's a base knock. That will push the runner to third base. And I think you got to send him, right? I think you got to send him here. You can't guarantee there's going to be another opportunity. So coming around third is Amos Otis. And is he going to be safe or out? It's a 1 to 6. He'll be safe at the plate. And it's an 8. And he is thrown out. Goodness gracious. And the crowd is super bummed. That's going to be a 7-2 put out. Oh, wow. All right. So that's 1 out. Oh, man. So Clint Hurdle with the base hit into left center field, but Lonnie Smith with a terrific throw from the outfield gets Amos Otis at the plate. And we have one out with one on, and Daryl Porter at the plate. They keep rolling the 45s. That's going to be a long single as Porter hits one into center field. Going to third base is going to be the runner at first, Clint Hurdle. And Kansas City living right, I guess. I don't know. They got UL Washington coming to the plate. He'll be batting right-handed. He is 0 for 3. All he needs is a sacrifice fly here, and that would win the game. It's a 15, and he does better than that as he's going to walk this one off with a base hit into left field, and that is going to bring home that run from third. And in the bottom of the ninth inning, Kansas City steals one from the Philadelphia Phillies as they end this one 6-5. Philly with 2 runs in this, one in the 7th, one in the 8th to tie it up. Had an opportunity here in the with 2 on in the 9th inning and couldn't score. And then Tug McGraw is going to take the loss. He's going to give up the game-winning hit to UL Washington. So a 6-5 win for the Royals. Tug McGraw goes just a third of an inning, and he gives up 4 hits, 1 run, no walks, no Ks. And like I said, he's going to take the loss. Rich Gale, 6 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, but he gets a no decision. Ruthven, 8 innings, 6 hits, 5 runs, and he's also going to get a no decision. Marty Patton came in and held things where they were, but he did give up the game-tying runs. And Dan Quisenberry comes in the 9th, and he shuts down Philly. Gives up 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk, and 1 K. He did have a huge double play here. And who is the player of the game? That's a good question. Boy, it's really hard to say. We'll just give it to the guy who knocked in the game-winning run, right? That makes it easy. UL Washington. And so Washington comes through in the clutch. So Philly leads this series 2-1 now as Kansas City holds serve at home. The next game will be game 4. Sorry about the technical difficulties there, but try some new things. Stuff happens, So I can see the battery on the computer is about to die, so we gotta make sure we wrap this up. This is using On Base Baseball. It's using the 1980 season set. So if you have not seen that, or if you want to purchase it, you can go to clarkandaddisongaming.com and check that out. There's also many more season sets that are available for On Base Baseball. We also have decade roster sheet sets, and the roster sheets look like this. So this is for 1980. You have every player listed here. And these are all the same stats that you see here on the cards, just in a format that's like a little bit more like a spreadsheet. And then you play that using a game engine chart just like this, which this game engine chart is everything that you see right here. It's just transposed onto the player card based off of the player's column that he is. And that's based off of his batting runs or his FIP. So everything makes sense about this game, but you can get a whole decade worth of players in a roster sheet format if you want to. I've just lowered the price of all on-base baseball seasons, including the decade roster sheet sets, to $15. So definitely affordable, and hopefully that helps as far as printing costs go. I know the cost of ink and paper and everything else, eggs, everything is going up. So maybe $5 doesn't seem like much, but maybe helps to offset those printing costs just a little bit. All right, I think we're going to close it up here. So the next game is going to be at Kansas City. This is the 1980 World Series. Game 3 goes to Kansas City by a score of 6-5. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.